Hello and welcome to the Prophecy of Pendor version 3.9.4 faction overview for the Fierdsvain faction. In this video I will be talking about the king of the faction as well as major towns that they own at the start of the game. I'll be discussing the most notable lords that you should consider in your kingdom, and we will also be talking about the elite troops of the faction and how to best utilize them. I hope you guys enjoy this video. The Fierdsvain faction is closest to the Kingdom of the Nords from the base game for the fact that all of their common troops are infantry only, and they have the best infantry unit in Prophecy of Pendor, which is the Fierdsvain Huscarl. They do have some heavy cavalry in their noble line, but we will be discussing them later on. The Fierdsvain start the game controlling three major towns, which are Windholm, Valmbray, and Yavexholm. The ruler of the Fierdsvain is Coninger Valdis. His unique weapon is a Coninger War Axe, and his special household troop are the Valdis Huscarl. The claimant to the throne of the Fierdsvain is Jarl Inar Ironhand. His special household troops are Fierdsvain Berserkers, and he is the strongest claimant out of all the others in terms of skills. However, he does not have a steed, which means he'll only be playing as an infantryman. The most notable Fierdsvain vassals that you should consider to have in your own kingdom are Earl Aidan Redsword, Martial Reputation, and Queen Agnes Freebooters as his household troop, Jarl Adalstein Goldtooth, Petidus Reputation, and Fierdsvain Rogue Knights as his household troop, Earl Ari Forkbeard, Bad Timbered Reputation, and Fierdsvain Berserkers as his household troop. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, Cunning Reputation, and no household troop. Jarl Einker One Hand, Sadistic Reputation, and no household troop. Jarl Aedis Fairhair, Good-Natured Reputation, and no household troop. Jarl Gunder Doomseeker, Upstanding Reputation, but no household troop. Earl Sigismund Stonehand, Martial Reputation, and Vanskari Jarls as his household troop. Jarl Talbot the Fae, Undetermined Reputation, and Valkyries as his household troop. Lord Hrothgar the Fat, Undetermined Reputation, and Vanskari Jarls as his household troop. Lord Inar Harry Breeks, Undetermined Reputation, and Lady Einhergers as his household troop. The Valkyries Sisterhood are the factional knighthood order of the Fierdsvain. They upgrade from Fierdsvain Herseers, and they are probably the best factional knighthood order out of all the others. They come equipped with axes, jareds, and sometimes swords. However, sometimes they come equipped with the Dragon Spine Axe, which is a very short reach axe, and as these guys are heavy cavalry, it's very difficult then for the Valkyrie to be able to get kills from horseback using a very short axe. In short, these lasses are a very decent knighthood order all around. They'll be decent on the field as well as sieges because of their axes. Now I'll be discussing the common elite troop trees of the Fierdsvain, and then I'll be discussing the noble line troop tree of the Fierdsvain. First off, we have the Fierdsvain Huscarl. These guys are the best heavy infantry common troop in Prophecy of Pendor. These guys have a lot of pros and just one con. The pros are these guys come with axes as well as throwing axes. They have very decent armor, amazing shields, which also protects the guys behind them, so they are great for shield walls. And they're also good in sieges as well as battles. Why are they good in sieges? Well, axes in Mountain Blade Warband as well as Prophecy of Pendor have a special ability, which is bonus against shields. Basically what this means is that attacks using the axes against shields will ignore the shield's resistance, which will mean that the Huscarls will be able to take down enemy shields very quickly and easily, and that's just very good in sieges. However, one con for these guys is that they take a very long time to upgrade and get to Fierdsvain Huscarl. However, the Fierdsvain Heavy Axeman is also very good, so even if you don't have a Huscarl, you still have a very good troop to play with. Now we will be talking about the Fierdsvain Huntress. The pros of these guys is that they are very easy to train, so you can get a lot of them in very short time. They are okay against cavalry because they are basically spearmen, so put them against cavalry and they will do decently. However, the cons of these guys is that they have sometimes they spawn with a very weak shield. It's one of the two, like there is a very good shield and a very bad one. If they spawn with a very bad one, it's very bad because the shield is very small and it's very easy to take out, and they won't really protect them from ranged fire. There's also one bad thing is that the AI can't really use spears very well, so these guys don't have, I mean, these girls don't have swords, so if they are stuck very close against an enemy in melee range, they'll probably lose because the spears are not very good in melee. So keep that in mind. You need to place them in a good shield wall so some other Huskar or heavy axemen can take out the guys in very close proximity. The Fierdsvain Berserkers are shock troops. They always come with two-handed axes or sword, mostly axes, which means they are good against cavalry. They are also very good in sieges because of their axes, as we said before. If you are gonna use these guys, use them like the Emperor Gladiator. Put them in a shield wall, let them stay at the back. The cons: these guys are hard to train. They are very fast. Why is that a bad thing? Well, they will basically race their fellow infantrymen to the enemy and they will soak up all the ranged fire. The thing is, these guys never spawn with shields, so they will always be taken out before they reach the enemy and do any serious damage, so you'll just be wasting manpower on these guys. So, use them in sieges, use them in shield walls, try to flank with them, don't make them charge out, or they will just die very easily. Also, these guys have terrible armor, just like the Emperor Gladiators. They might as well not have any armor. Just keep them in the shield wall. The final troop that we will be talking about is the Fierdsvain Heavy Skirmisher. Bros, these guys are very good for melee fighting. They sometimes come with either throwing weapons or crossbows, so it's one of the two. They are much better melee fighting than their counterpart, the Empire Armored Crossbowmen. So use these guys as kind of infantry shock troop, not really crossbowmen. Don't rely on them as crossbowmen because sometimes they won't spawn with it. So there's a chance, which is a con. They don't have a guarantee to get a crossbow. Sometimes they'll just get a skirmishing javelin, which is not that great. They have medium armor. As I said, they are not reliable. Don't rely on them as archers because they are not really archers. Even when they spawn with a crossbow, it's a heavy crossbow, which is not the best on foot crossbow. So just take a little bit of them, use them as melee skirmishers and not as archers, and you should be good to go. And definitely do not take these guys to sieges because, as I said, they will not always spawn with crossbows. They are not reliable for the third time. Just please use them as infantry in the field. Now we will be talking about the noble elite troop of the Fierdsvain, the Fierdsvain Herseer. These guys are supposedly heavy cavalry, however, they are probably the worst noble elite troop out of all the other factions. They have bad proficiencies, they have bad skills. Sometimes they come with a horse that is not even armored. Some of them use Jared, so they're like skirmishers on horseback. I would suggest you use these guys for hit and run attacks. Never let them charge in or they'll just die. If you let them charge in without backup or support from other different kind of units, they will most likely die very easily. They are not really the charging type. So as I said, just use them for hit and run attacks, kind of like skirmishers just on horseback. And yeah, I would also suggest not even using these guys because, as I said, they are really one of the worst. You can find much better cavalry in the common troop trees of other kingdoms. And this will be it for this faction overview. I really hope you guys enjoyed and found this overview to be helpful. Tell me which faction would you like to be overviewed next, and yeah, have a great day, guys.